Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to an interview with my man Kenn Bosak. Am I saying that right, man? Bosak.
Yeah, man. How goes it? Thanks for having me on.
I love that last name. How goes it? What's the word, man? You all right today?
Yeah, I'm having a good day, man. The market seems to be doing pretty well, and the news is interesting as it is entertaining recently.
I know, man. And so I'm glad to definitely have you on. I like chatting with people who are organic, real, just being themselves. We need more of that in the crypto community. So today, man, we were going to talk about a few topics. We kind of talked prior to starting the recording. What do you want to start with, man? You go ahead and pick, man, and we'll
I'm sure everybody wants to just talk about porn and Pornhub and XVG and all that. I mean, that's like that is the talk of the town in crypto, hood right now. Everybody wants to talk about that, and it's not just Pornhub. It's MindGeek, which is like a conglomerate. They own Brazzers and pretty much anything that touches porn. The production, DVD, hiring process.
I didn't even know that. Okay, I didn't know about the parent company. Okay, so
they gobbled up everything back in the dark days of the adult industry when everything was going down. They were buying up companies. Now MindGeek has partnered with Verge XVG recently after Verge raised about 75 million XVG for a secret project, and this was the project. They gave an announcement date, and on that date this was the announcement. They have partnered with MindGeek, which is the owners of Pornhub, Brazzers, and all those. So now you can pay for your porn with crypto, but only XVG, which is pretty weird considering I don't really have like an XVG wallet or any real easy ways of interacting with that cryptocurrency for that purpose.
I think this is gonna be an epic fail, man.
Oh yeah, huge fail.
Because this is my whole thing about just projects that are starting up in the whole crypto community in general. It's not about just saying I have a crypto startup, on blockchain startup, just for the sake of it. It should be easier for the end user to use your service. They shouldn't even know that they're using blockchain. So if I have to go through hoops to convert Bitcoin to Verge and find, it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be successful, man. What are your thoughts about that?
No, not at all. And it's getting a little harder to get into crypto without going through KYC. Even recently, local Bitcoin, not local, these local ATM machines have been asking for driver's license and going through KYC process, and people were using those ATMs to get into Bitcoin without going through KYC. So it even if you think you're going to get into it and you say you use Coinbase and then you send your crypto to Pornhub, it's still not really anonymous, but it is, because at Pornhub they don't know who you are, from that address, but Coinbase does. Maybe they can follow what you're doing. So it's going to be really hard, especially if you're doing it with XVG. Like you said, we have to jump through all these hoops now. They should have went with Monero Dash Pivx, something a little bit more mainstream in the cryptoverse and something that actually had its own wallets or other uses. This is definitely a bribed use case. They raised 75 million XVG to bribe their way and lubricate this deal.
So explain. I didn't know the details about the whole deal. So they actually went to the Verge community and said, "Hey,
there was a tweet a while back, man. They were like, 'Yo, we need 75 million XVG. We got something in the works, but we need some help.'" And I believe it was Token Pay that raised 65 million of that themselves or something around there. And the viewers, the audience, the followers, the fans of XVG and all that, they contributed, I guess, the remaining 10. And I think it's still active. Like, you can send XVG to this address, and it's like the Verge Foundation of some sort. And they seem to have used those funds to get MindGeek, which is the adult entertainment industry conglomerate, to accept Verge for subscriptions, and solely Verge. They did tweet that they will not and do not accept Bitcoin or Litecoin or any other cryptocurrency, only Verge XVG. So it was really interesting to see that they publicly said they're not accepting the most mainstream of cryptocurrencies, which is not the best marketing strategy if you want to gain the fans of crypto.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I just believe this is going to be an epic fail, and we'll see though. But yeah, we need to have as many. If they're really about crypto community building, growing it, in all aspects, all facets, from porn to e-commerce or whatever. We have to band together, and I think that's what we're kind of missing. Is we're so segmented. Everyone's got, it's like a gang. Like if you support Monero, you can't support Zcoin because
Right.
you know that's like another anonymous coin. So it's like it's crazy the factions that we're creating here, man. And I just think you know it needs to change, don't you think?
No, man, look at Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, dude. That is the way back. That's the way back tribal argument, man. That
Correct.
goes, and now we have the most recent Bitcoin Cash, and you know, I mean, it's just that tribal mentality. It carries into everything. I mean, if you're from Pennsylvania, you still have, you know, the Steelers or the Eagles. You know,
there you go.
You can't love them both, even though they're both. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I hedge, you know, I diversify. So I got Ethereum,
Smart.
Ethereum
Good.
Classic. I got some Bitcoin. I got some. Actually, I got way less Bitcoin Cash because I keep dumping it.
Okay,
but I do like to, you know, diversify and hedge. So
man, I just like competition, man. I used to play basketball in high school. Was very, very good at it, and competition is what makes you better. So I think the more competition you have in the space, it's going to weed out the weak, and only the strong will survive. So I'm all for it, man. I think
no monopolies, dude. That's why I like Ethereum, EOS, Neo, Cardano, all of those. Like, everybody keep competing with each other. I love it. I'll buy a little bit of everything just in case somebody out, you know, sources the other in technology. But I don't want it to just be Ethereum for smart contracts and call everything else a scam or a shitcoin. It's not like that. I mean, if you want Ethereum to be the only blockchain to handle smart contracts, I do not know how cost effective that's going to be for all use cases that need smart contracts. So we need things like EOS or Neo or Cardano or whatever to be, say, the poor man's smart contract. You know, like I'm not a Fortune 500 company. I'm just a small corner store, but I still would like to use smart contracts to make my business better. I would maybe use a different blockchain than Ethereum because that's for the elites. And more expensive smart contracts for, you know, political, legal, or more like long-term uses for record keeping, stuff like that. But when it comes to small things like small corner stores, I can see EOS or Neo or something like that being the use.
Right. Yeah, I agree. There's going to be use cases for many of these. Most will die off. But there will be use case for the ones that do make it. So let's kind of back up a little bit, man. I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't find out about you, Ken, until about a month and a half ago. I've seen you. Where did I see? I've seen your caricature drawing. I've seen that around the internet, and so I'm like, man, this guy seems cool. So I checked out. You know, you started following me, then I followed you. Then I saw you were on Omar Bam's YouTube site and stuff. You good friends with him?
Yeah, I actually just recently interviewed Omar Bam on my Pure Blockchain Wealth YouTube channel. So guys, if you wanted to check that out, it's Pure Blockchain Wealth on YouTube. I actually crashed at his crib when I was in LA, and he just moved there. So it was like, I was a huge inconvenience. So huge shout out to Omar. Thank you for having me when I visited LA. But yeah, dude, it was awesome. We did an impromptu meetup, and we had the entire like Spank Chain team come out and attend our meetup. It was very impromptu. There was no like big promotion behind our very small local meetup, and to see that team show up and kind of like, you know, contribute to the meetup was really awesome. I got to talk to all the people at Spank Chain, so that was fun. And yeah, Omar's great, dude. I love having him on. We've actually had each other on each other's shows multiple times throughout the year. I think I've been following him since Ethereum was about $5. So that's how I measure the history.
Right. So speaking of history, man, like, how did you get into crypto? I couldn't find really. I wasn't looking, but I just didn't see. It seems like you've been into crypto for a while, just kind of how you analyze and how you talk about stuff. So what's your background with crypto? What even prompted you to get in it? Are you technical? It seemed like you may have been technical the way you talk.
I'm a techie. I used to fix cell phones and tablets. I made a few applications for Android and iOS.
So you do have some,
stuff. I'm not like traditionally educated. I graduated from the University of YouTube. You know, like I get my college degree would be from Google if they would give them out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go into debt to learn the things I know. I just went and I didn't go to as many parties growing up. I nerded out and read things.
Nice.
But other than that, yeah. So what got me into Bitcoin, I was looking to invest in traditional stocks. I was looking at the time, it was Snapchat. They were private, and you could, they were saying you could invest in their IPO. It's only like 15 cents a share. And I was like, what? Snapchat? They got like this camera thing coming out, and there's a lot of news to sell on that. So I was like, I didn't really know how to trade or anything, but I, common sense, buy the rumor, sell the news. And I was like, Snapchat, my opportunity here. And I learned that you had to be an accredited investor to invest in an IPO. And I was looking at it like, how do I become an accredited investor if you don't let me take advantage of these opportunities that I can take advantage of to become that accredited investor, where I could put $5,000 into this Snapchat IPO. And when it launched, I think it was like $15 or something from like 15 cents. I could have became an accredited investor and dumped it with everybody else when it launched publicly, because that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
And I saw that, I was basically
locked out.
Aside. Blocked out by all these borders to entry. So I kept looking for things that like would let me in. Like, what can I participate in? And I actually came across the Ethereum ICO video, and I should have, but I was watching the video and I listened and I was learning a little bit about Ethereum, and I understood the Internet of Things, and people have told me about Bitcoin, and I actually heard of it before, and I've actually heard the reference, the Internet of Money, before I heard about Ethereum, and I didn't get it. So I was like, I don't care about money, the internet, whatever.
Right,
and then I saw Ethereum. I looked into it and I was like, wait, the Internet of Things, smart contracts, I get this. Like, yeah, we need this. Like, you can't have my car communicate with streetlights on HTML and JavaScript. Like, people hack that all day. So yeah, I see a reason for operating system to have code that costs and communication of value. So I get that. So I was like, let me check this out. And I actually came back around to Bitcoin. And I bought some Bitcoin, and I was going to use that to get into the Ethereum thing. And I didn't. I procrastinated, and Ethereum went way up. I think it was like 50 cents at the ICO, and it went up to, like I said, like $4 or so when I was following Omar, and I finally got in Ethereum around $10. I was like, all right, so this is going to be long term. Even if it goes down to $4 again from $10, I'll buy more. It'll be half off from the opportunity I actually decided to jump in on. And it kept going up, so I kept buying more. And I actually never really went back to stocks. I did invest in one or two marijuana stocks because I saw that they had patents on certain technology like vape pens and the portable vaporizers for dry herb and flowers. So I was like, all right, I'll invest in those companies because they own patents in that. And
were they penny stocks over the counter?
They were actually. One of them I got in at about under a penny and sold at about 7 cents, and that was dude. And I put a decent amount, and I actually reinvested that into Litecoin when it was about $4. So I'm officially out of the stock market completely. I'm all in on crypto.
Yeah, good transition.
But that was my enlightenment, was like these borders to entry in the traditional sense. I'm only a cog to make a traditional investor or a accredited investor money. I'm not going to make money here. I'm going to increase somebody else's portfolio. And the trading fees were insane. $10 a trade minimum on most of these stocks. That's why I like Robinhood. They're a little bit better. But like I couldn't make more than 1% a month. And it wasn't going to make me the trading fees alone. So I was literally a gear in the profit machine for somebody else. And I didn't want to participate in that. So I was like, no. And then I came to crypto, where Poloniex didn't ask me for any information. I could trade whatever I wanted, make X amount of percentage, and cash it out on local Bitcoins, and nobody bothers me.
So here's a question though, because the reasons why the reasons why you got into cryptos, or the things that kind of intrigued you to get into cryptos, is starting to change though, Ken, right?
I know, right? Regulations, man.
Exactly. So like, where do you see us going in the future, man? Like,
Poloniex
was just bought by
it's impossible. It's going to be chaos. They're going to create so many dark markets. It's insane. I mean, you can't, all right, don't download illegal movies and music. It's against the law. All right, but it's way easier to do that than it is to buy a movie online. I have to type in all this information. I have to wait for it. I could just click stream or download on any illegal site, and it works. If you say I have to give you my email, my social security number, and everything, and my real name, my address, to trade on your exchange, I'm just going to go to a different exchange, and it's risky. You're going to give me no other choice but to go to this risky market. It's the same thing with the marijuana industry and buying drugs on the street, when I could just go to this in LA. It looked like an Apple store, and it was beautifully well lit, and I could buy cannabis. But in my state where I live, not the case. I have to go somewhere shady. It's going to be the same way online, and that's scarier, because when you're taken advantage of digitally, there's almost nothing you can do. There's no recourse. There's no, hey, this is what the person looked like. They stole my money. They told me they were going to give me Bitcoin. And I know Bitcoin isn't something I'm supposed to buy without going through KYC, but I don't have a driver's license. I really needed this Bitcoin to help my family member out somewhere else, because I can't send them money through Western Union because I don't have a driver's license, because I don't have the documents that it requires to get a driver's license, that it requires to now buy Bitcoin. So there are so many people that don't have the qualifications or the documents to meet those qualifications to get crypto through these regulated routes. So it's not going to work. You can't regulate crypto. It's water, and you're using a screen to tell it to stop. You're like, stop, and you're holding a screen. You're like yelling at water to stop eroding your beach. It's not going to listen.
Yeah, man, I agree, man. The regulation. I was talking to Fiat Antidote. I had him on my channel a few weeks ago. And it's interesting to see different aspects and different point of views on the subject. Some people really want it because it seems like it would validate and bring more people into the cryptocurrencies, which it will. But I think we're gaining that to give up what I got into cryptos for, and that was anonymity, freedom. No KYC,
opportunity, man.
Do what you want, right? And I really see that changing, man. And I'm just, I'm anxious to see what the future holds for cryptocurrencies in as a whole. I don't know, man.
If we put "do not eat" labels on rat poison, you know what I mean? It doesn't help us any. As a whole, the whole thing. Like, it's, to me, regulating crypto is as inconvenient as the fact that I have to now get the manager at my local store to get the Tide Pods out so I could go do my laundry.
Yeah, right.
Why is my detergent regulated now? Why do I have to show a driver's license to get my laundry detergent just to do my wash? Why are we catering to those people? I think that it's a great feature in crypto that it's, I can lose money because I can learn from that. Right. If you don't give me the opportunity to fuck up, I can't better myself. And that's all I want. I want to be able to grow. And if I can't participate, I can't grow. Spectating isn't enough.
Yep. I agree, man. You preaching, Reverend Bosak. So let's talk about, we were talking about losing money and hacks and stuff. Ian Balini, this guy, man, lost $2 million, and he said he doesn't care. What the hell is that about?
Like, he lost, like it didn't really happen. Maybe, I don't know. That's the rumors, and he said he went to the FBI though, so that's different.
Okay, yeah. So if he went to the FBI, I might have to believe him on that. What do you think about that, man? I mean, I don't follow the guy.
He made himself a walking target. I was interviewed by TheVerge.com, and they posted the article today. It's on my Twitter, at Kenneth Bosak. You can check it out. As I said to The Verge, what he did was basically the exact opposite of what we should do. He's a perfect example of what not to do. He posted his entire net worth on social media, saying he had over $2 million in his portfolio. And you can monitor and track his entire process on YouTube because he documents it live. So it's like you can really follow those breadcrumbs, those addresses, and he made himself a walking honeypot. And people out there are hungry, and they targeted him. And I mean, 2FA isn't real. I mean, check out the interview I did with Paul Pui, the founder of Edge Secure. Okay. I interviewed him on Pure Blockchain Wealth as well, and we were talking about it. 2FA is not real. It's, if your 2FA can be reset without you actually having to go do something physically, like my phone should be a physical requirement for the 2FA, not a digital requirement, then it would be a true 2FA. So we were talking about that, and the fact that you can reset a password and then have your 2FA to an email that can also have its password reset, it's doesn't make much sense. It's a lot of hoops you're jumping through for security theater. You're not really any safer. You might feel safe, but you're really not any safer than you were without those, extra hoops that you make yourself jump through.
Right.
So, I mean, he told everybody how much he had. You could track his progress, and see what, wallets he may use, sites he may use, and what email addresses he uses for certain things and stuff like that. I did the same stuff when I got into YouTube and crypto. I gave out way too much personal information. I was hacked myself. Now I know to have an email address I do not give out and a phone number I do not give out. Those are the two things that you should never give to people, but you give them away all the time. Like, hey, call me, send me a text, email me that info.
That's why I love Telegram. As long as it can stay secured, the Russian government has been really after Telegram. They're trying to get the keys to unlock their encryption and everything. They need it under, this is how the governments do around the world. They need these things from these corporations or us personally to protect us, just in case something happens. But I use Telegram, and hopefully they can stay secure. But I agree, man. You don't give out emails, phone numbers, and try to stay as ambiguous as you can, and definitely don't give out how much your portfolio value is. I don't own any cryptos. How about that?
Yeah, I lost them all already. You know what I mean?
I don't have any, so.
You don't have to talk numbers. If you want to talk about cryptocurrencies on YouTube, you don't have to be that guy who's always bragging about how much he made. You can just say, hey, I love this project, and talk about the tech. Stop talking about the value of the coin. Start talking about the value of the coin as the tech side. Forget the green and red candles. What about the updates, the forks? What about the miners? Let's talk about that on YouTube. And you don't have to worry about being a target now. Maybe you'll even make money because if you talk about projects you like, those projects may actually reach out to you and say, hey, we like what you're doing. Here's some of our coin. And there you go. You don't have to talk numbers because that makes you a target. And even if you feel safe about doing it today because, I only got 0.1 Bitcoin, so it doesn't really matter. If that shit keeps going up and we're at $150,000, like, you're now a target. You know what I mean? Only because I assume that you still have that 0.1 Bitcoin that you publicly said, and now I know what it's actually worth. Now it may actually be worth my while as a hacker, to spend time attacking you as an individual, because 40 hours a week to me, that's nothing. I could get your 6-figure portfolio in that 40-hour work week of mine. So it's totally worth it. So don't incentivize these hackers. They're not incentivized if you have no money, because they don't hack broke people.
Yeah. So what do you think? There was some rumor. I was talking to Nick from Truth Blitz. He was talking about there was rumor that he was doing it for tax reasons.
It doesn't matter, man. As far as I know, if you move that money, you have to pay on the sell of it. Him going to the FBI might help, I think. But if you move Bitcoin from your publicly known address out to an address that, isn't yours, that's a sell. He has to pay tax on that, hacked or not. You made trades, you made gains.
Not only
buy a house,
you
buy a house and somebody steals the physical building, you still have to pay on the tax.
Yeah, not only that, you have whatever he did last year is still taxable. So it doesn't matter what he lost this year. Is whatever, he still has a tax liability on 2017. So.
The real problem is he may not have the funds to cover his taxes from last year. Like, that actually worries me. Like, I feel like
issue.
I am assuming this actually happened to him. I don't want to be one of those guys that say, "Oh, he's crying wolf," because that's not right. I've been hacked, and I would hate for people to say things like that. So I don't. But it is a coincidence. But him going to the law and everything definitely makes me feel more, empathetic for the situation, because that's a lot of money, and he says he doesn't need it. He has other income and stuff, and that's awesome. But this is such a huge mistake financially that it's costing him hundreds of thousands of followers, and that's money that could have come back. He could have made that 2 million back if he didn't lose hundreds of thousands of followers, because he creates content. So he's losing money all over the place from this. It's not just the money he lost from being hacked, it's the money he's losing from being hacked. As a content creator, people may not approach him and say, "Hey, here's some of our coin. Will you talk about it and promote our coin?" He may be losing more money than we're actually seeing up front. So it's like, I'm really empathetic.
Wait a minute. So his site is called Hacking the System?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. It's so ironic. People are like, "Look, dude, is it real?" Like, wow. I mean, that's why the community, it's so coincidental. But again, it's not a tax escape. From what I understand, you can't escape tax this way. So I feel for him, man.
Yeah, and I do too, actually. I don't follow him, but this is unfortunate if it is true. So shout outs to him, and shout outs to anyone. Definitely learn from this. Life is about learning from other people's mistakes and also our own. So make sure you can learn from this mistake so you don't have to learn from your own.
Yeah, wisdom comes from learning from other people's mistakes and applying them to real life, not having to actually participate in making mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to talk about Brave, man, because I actually last year I traded the BAT token and made good money off of it. Just trading up and down. It kind of dropped after the ICO. So I bought some and it popped back up, but I never actually went and looked at the project until maybe a few months ago.
Typical trader. Looking at the charts, not looking at the tech.
Yep.
I hodled hundreds, and I love BAT, man. That's my one of my
BAT is
penny coins. I got in when it was a penny.
Excellent, man. BAT is a good project. The founder is co-founder of Mozilla, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, what they're doing is what I am passionate about in general. I love the project. And even if it doesn't work out, at least I can say I tried to help it. I put money behind it. I was a financial pusher of that technology, even if it doesn't successfully exist in the future. And if it does, I'm gonna brag the hell out of me helping it get there, because I financially made profit, as well as an end user will make profit, because it'll increase the quality of my life as a content creator. Because as you know, YouTube is demonetizing anything with the word Bitcoin in it lately.
Yep.
So I can get a bunch of views on YouTube and not make a penny from my viewers, because YouTube is demonetizing me. But my viewers can opt in to use the basic attention token platform to contribute to me willfully. And like basic attention token is basically it is a Brave browser payment system that can be used through Chrome and Firefox with a plugin called Batify, BATIFFY or something like that. But what they're doing is making it possible for you, the viewer, to say, I want to contribute $20 a month to everything I watch on the internet, and you can select who actually gets the payouts, if it's on my website KennBosak.com, or if you go to my YouTube channel Kenn Bosak, whatever, you spend time on those websites, you can opt in to donate basic attention token to me based on the amount of time you spend there, divided up equally amongst everybody that you visited. It is a really amazing tool what they're doing, especially in this time right now with what's happening with the demonetization.
Oh, this is going to change the game. And this was, Andreas Antonopoulos talked about this years ago, the power of what he called micropayments. So
there wasn't that ability before.
It wasn't that ability before. So this is excellent. I'm so excited. I know you are as a content creator as well.
I'm getting into Twitch because they partnered with Twitch. If you're a Twitch streamer, and I keep trying to get the attention of @Ninja, but if Ninja would just listen, he could earn basic attention tokens from the crypto community while we watch him stream live on Twitch. So what I'm going to try to do is get on Twitch, play some games, and as people watch, they can give me some basic attention token. It's that simple.
That's awesome, man. I'm so excited about that. And this is the wave. This is the future. Now, projects like this is the future, people, where you're able to contribute to those you like directly. And I'm loving it. Do you think they'll have for web developers like myself who want to have paywall areas on their site? Is that going to be some type of ability for me to do that? Use some type of plug-in,
like a buy-in system? Like I have to, like you said, a paywall. That means like a subscription based or something. Yeah.
So instead of just maybe there's a tiered payment system. So if you want to go a step further behind this paywall, you pay a little bit more to see other content. So
that kind of reminds me of Yours. Have you ever checked out Ryan X Charles? He's the founder of Yours. They're it's sort of like Medium or Reddit or Steam it in a sense.
But they were trying to do it on Bitcoin though, right? And that
they were. Failed. Then he went to Litecoin. Now he's on Bcash. So it's he has no loyalty. Ryan X Charles, you have no loyalty. But I love the guy. I interviewed him, and we had a good conversation. And he said that he was going to go from the Litecoin blockchain back to Bitcoin blockchain eventually when Bitcoin can handle it. And then he went to Bitcoin Cash. And I said something to him on Twitter, and he was like, well, Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. So in the interview, I was truthful. I was like, all right, cool. Okay. I like the wording. Good job. Right. So yeah, they use Bcash now on yours. But that's what it made me think of. A paywall where when you get through the website as you're scrolling or as you're watching, hey, donate. But that's automatic with basic attention. So you don't actually have to worry about that. I don't know how BAT could say, like, how they have the 21 or not to enter a website, so you opt in or opt out of something. That might be a way to do it.
Exactly. Where, there's that actual real, like the going to my site is, if you have a Brave browser, you're paying me a little bit. But let's say I have a members only area, you pay me a little bit more in BAT. So we'll see. That's, I
like it. Yeah, hit them up in their Discord or Telegram. Their community's loud, man. Hit them up.
Yeah, I'll hit them up for sure. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad I actually signed. I did my account a few days ago and claimed my account.
Oh, good. So, I can add you now. I can add you because once you become an authorized publisher, that means that you've proven that you have access to your account. I can add that into my basic attention token wallet. So when I watch your videos, you will get some of my monthly basic attention token payout.
Right. Excellent.
So right now, I think it's Omar Bam. It's Peter Saddington from Decentralized TV, and it would be Crypto Blood. Because I don't know many people that have actually signed up for this. I hope people start taking advantage of it, because if you claim your sites, you prove that you own this website, this Facebook, and this Twitter, or this Twitch. And while you're using them, people that have opted in, I didn't even know this. I had money waiting for me there.
Me too. I did. Right. I had 35 bucks in BAT.
Right. From people that watched my YouTube using the platform. So I didn't even know I had money sitting there.
I know.
I actually read into that. And when it hit $100, they would have started yelling at me in my emails.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't get any notification about it.
There's something built in to BAT where it hits $100, and they start basically trying to educate you, the end user of that platform. Like, hey, somebody's been watching your YouTube channel using the basic attention token Brave payments system. You have earned $100 or more in cryptocurrencies. Here's how you actually claim it. And they give you like a 1, 2, 3 step on exactly how that's done.
Where is BAT right now? 39 cents.
Woo, got it at a penny. I love BAT.
Yeah, man, that is awesome. What's their supply? Total supply.
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge. But it doesn't matter, because I think it's going to be widely adopted. So this is going to be...
And that's the thing, is for micropayments. So you're going to be seeing people, where they have thousands of BAT, or even if at the time, maybe 5 BAT, because you can send 0.0001 of, a token to somebody. So eventually these coins, even if they keep going up in value, you're going to be seeing them used more, because people put 1,000 of these basic attention tokens in their, Brave browser wallet just to lock them in there and set up a payment system. And, as it keeps going up, maybe that $33 you earned, Brave goes up a couple percent, it becomes 100 real quick. You didn't have to actually earn more Brave tokens. Brave token earned more value, which actually announced to you, the end user, hey, you have money in this, use it. So I think that it has a great marketing strategy built in, because its intended use is to contribute to content creators, and content creators are incentivized to get the word out, because it is, it's profitable for us, and users have to opt in. It's not something that they're forced to do. So this is, a straight charitable thing on our viewers' behalf. And if you think about it, the Brave browser, it blocks ads intentionally default. So you're not, as a content creator, there may not be as many ads on my platform because you're using the Brave browser. So since you're not seeing as many ads, I'm not making as much money. So now you can opt in to counteract the effect that you're using an ad blocker, which is hurting my bottom line. But you want to visit my website to get the content that I create. I can only do that by making income off of that content that I created. So it's a great, hand in hand with the quality and experience you want on the internet.
So let me ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this though. So that sounds like I can envision Brave being a competitor to a platform like Steam it then?
Yeah, it would contribute because I think
How?
if Steam it would opt in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could upvote, I could re-Steam, I could do all that. But as I'm reading your article and the time spent looking at your exact whole blog, you're earning more crypto. So it's only, I think,
Okay.
a compliment. It would
It's
go
a
on top
layer
of
on
Steam.
top of it.
Right.
Right.
I don't think
Okay.
it would hurt it. I think it would contribute to the
Okay.
success of it.
Okay. So check this out. We were just looking at BAT. It's up 43% today, and the reason why, and I just saw this, they actually did a partnership with Dow Jones Media Group, which owns
Oh,
Barron's.
what?
Yeah. So
Breaking news, everybody.
breaking news
Whoa.
right on site. Look at
Oh,
that.
that is awesome.
That is awesome, man. I'm going to get me some more bats, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's a long-term hold, and again, if it goes
Long-term
back
hold.
down, discount.
Long-term
Like
hold.
I never put $1 into a cryptocurrency I wasn't willing to wait 5 years to take out. So
That's
I'm
good, man. That's a smart. I'm not as as loyal as you are, man. I love them and kick them.
Nah, well, I mean,
Pimp
some of
'em.
them I'll trade for shorting. Some of them I intentionally short. I did it on
Okay.
purpose with a few coins very publicly. Made quite a bit on a few that I have no loyalty to. Ripple was one of them.
Yeah.
I got in at 3 cents, got out at $3.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So
There's
what
a couple other coins
what-
that
what,
I used. For it. I think Potcoin was one back in the day.
Yeah, I remember Podcoin. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties there, man. But the last thing we were planning on talking about was Coinbase, man. They're like the Google of the crypto sphere. What's going on with them? They're acquiring companies left and right. You told me they acquired a search engine.
Oh yeah,
Let's
Cipher
talk about that.
browser. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's funny you said Coinbase is like the Google of crypto because it is because they're working on a browser based on the Ethereum blockchain called Toshi, like Toshi.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an Ethereum-based blockchain browser application. It's available on Android and iOS right now, and you can use it to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. You can use dApps in Toshi. It's really awesome.
Oh, that's what's
And
up.
yeah, they acquired Cipher browser, and now they're using their tech to build up the Toshi tech as a decentralized, blockchain browser, which is really cool to see that you can use CryptoKitties and
Mhm.
EtherBots and Decentraland all in this browser. It's really cool, and it has a messaging feature built in, so you can use it to message people and stuff like that as a built-in wallet. So it's a really interesting browser, but it's just one of many, many, many things that Coinbase has been acquiring recently. They just bought Earn.com for $100 million.
That's the one I was thinking of. Earn, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest crypto startups ever right now. It's so it's huge to see that they're acquiring somebody like Earn.com because you can get paid to reply to emails in Earn.com, or you can say, hey, I have a task, get some jobs done. I need this article written on this thing, and somebody can perform the task and earn crypto through Earn.com. And to see Coinbase going in that browser with Toshi and going and acquiring Earn and all the other things that they've been doing in the background, they are setting themselves up to be that monopoly in the US on crypto.
So what do you think Google actually, we're talking about Coinbase is like Google, but do you think Google is going to position themselves? I know they filed a couple of patents for some blockchain.
Yeah, they have
ideas.
Alphabet Inc. has two blockchain companies
Yep.
right now, one for data storage, and I think the other one was for something to do with payments. I think something
Okay.
like that. What they're working on is pretty weird. But yeah, they're interested. And Yahoo has officially announced that they will be launching a cryptocurrency exchange in Japan. So Yahoo is like already saying we're going to do. I think Google is eventually going to see. I mean, Google makes a smart home kits. Google makes everything. They're not going to let this get by them. So I really feel like you're right. Google will probably eventually go this route, but will Coinbase at that time just acquire Google? Like, at what point will Coinbase have more wealth, or will they compete, or will they not just partner? Like I could see a partnership maybe, but yeah, Google would be crazy not to get into the game considering Yahoo's official announcement.
Yeah, and I think they are. You got Google, all the big ones, Google, Microsoft, they're all getting into it slowly. They're taking the traditional route. I talked about that on a video a few days ago. I don't think is confusing to me. What do you feel about like companies like Google, Microsoft, Yahoo filing patents
Right.
on crypto ideas?
Well, I mean,
It's
it makes some sense because you're a business. You want to make sure that you have can't be replicated and used by somebody else. But we're in this decentralized era where
that's
things
what I
are open
mean.
source. So yeah,
Right.
file all the patents you want, but that's only going to hurt me if I am a institution.
Company.
Right, if I'm a
Right.
company, but as an
Right.
individual, it doesn't affect me, and I could create a decentralized blockchain with your technology, even if you
Yep.
patent it and
Yep.
release it, and now it
Yep.
just runs. You cannot
Yep.
stop it without turning off the internet. So patents in this aspect, it really means nothing to me. I think it's first mover advantage. The
Right.
technologies that are being designed right now and the partnerships that are being made with those technologies, that's where it's all going to come from. It's not going to come from something that's going to be designed to compete with the pre-existing technology, especially from a company like Google. They're going to spread themselves so thin. There aren't enough developers to compete with the companies that already have these blockchain developers. So the
Mm-hmm.
partnership idea, I think, is probably right up their alley.
Yeah, when I thought about and when I was doing that video about patents, I thought I was by myself. I'm like, I don't think, and I mentioned it in the video. I'm like, I don't think this patent route is going to. It'll protect them, like you said, against entity to entity. So if Google has a patent, Microsoft won't be able to do what they're doing. But we're moving towards that autonomous, organization. No one owns it. It just runs.
Right. It just exists.
It just exists, and that's I love it actually because then that lowers the playing field or levels the playing field for everyone.
Right.
You
And
know.
I like that because it gives like, where stores like Walmart pop up, it kind of kills mom and pop shops.
Yep.
But mom and pop shops on the internet now can utilize the technology designed by these mainstream in corporations and kind
Mm-hmm.
of use their own technology against them. I like that. I don't think we'll see much support for patented technology and
I don't
centralized
either.
blockchains because it kind of defeats the purpose. But
Mm-hmm.
that's you and me. We're not companies. So other companies will care about this, but I don't think the individuals will. So we'll see what happens. I
Yeah.
think it's interesting that Coinbase has announced that they'll be listing ERC20 tokens soon. Like what ones and why and who will
Let's talk.
decide
Let's talk
how
about
many at a
that.
time.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I don't know, man. Basic attention token. That
That would
sounds.
be a good one to get put on Coinbase right about
Yeah.
now. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, my only concern, and before, there were rumors about them adding additional coins or tokens to Coinbase or GDAX. My whole thing was I didn't think they were going to add ERC20 tokens because I felt like it was double exposure to the Ethereum network. Let's just say hypothetically something went wrong with Ethereum,
Oh
then
yeah, then all the
then all
RC20s are
those
affected. Yeah.
right. So I'm kind of shocked, to be honest with you, that I'm seeing them add ERC20 tokens. Which ones, I don't know. I think OMG possibly,
That would be
that
nice.
for sure. And I would say EOS, but that token is not the actual
Right.
token.
Yeah. You
So
have to make sure you claim that by next month, man.
yeah,
Make sure you
yeah, people
register
definitely
your EOS.
claim your tokens. So eventually I can see EOS being on there as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's really hard to like try to predict which ones they would list on Coinbase as far as ERC20s go. I don't know which ones even have more appeal than others in Coinbase's interest because they never really were thought to go that route. So as soon as they, announce the first one or few or whatever they do, if they do it in a few at a time or one at a time, at least we'll have something to go on and we can kind of look at other coins and use that as something to premise on. But I don't know what they're looking for to determine whether or not
Yeah.
it should be
That's
listed.
gonna be a watershed moment though. Like one them adding ERC20 token
Yeah,
is
I'm
gonna
worried
be
about a lot of
big.
those coins that are being delisted on exchanges too. It's I think Bittrex or somebody just delisted like 86 last month, and Goldman Sachs acquiring Poloniex was a great move because 100, I think they have like 180 days or something to get the books
Right.
cleaned up and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I'm waiting to see what kind of coins get delisted from
A
Poloniex
whole
before the
bunch.
timeline runs out, where
Mm-hmm.
they have to get everything at Poloniex, straight and narrow since it's under new ownership for the future. I want to see like what kind of coins are they going to delist, and I think it may be a few of those ICO tokens and their ERC20s, but which ones?
How do you feel about ICOs in the U.S. My theory is that ICOs, anyone holding ICOs or tokens that I have ICO'd, I should say, in the U.S. or U.S. based, there's some tail risks there. How do you feel about that? And when I mean by tail risks, I'm talking about the SEC, them coming down on them. One of them I actually held, which was Centra. They got slammed. It dropped like 85, 90% because the SEC came in and didn't even go after the companies from what it looks like. They went after the actual owners or founders. What do you feel about ICOs in the U.S.? How is that going to look for 2018 and beyond?
No, it's gonna look crazy. I mean, there's that big gray cloud over that entire part of the industry. That market has been somewhat tarnished by the SEC. I mean, they brought it up 180 times in the SEC CFTC meeting. It was a lot. They really wanted to drive the point home that this is something they're going to be looking into. And if you're in the U.S. and you're investing in ICOs, just be careful. I don't think that the U.S. is going to be setting any precedents in this as a global standard. Mm-hmm. So us as a country, our government not allowing us as citizens to participate in this, this financial movement, it's only going to cripple us as individuals here in this country. And it gives other countries opportunity to, be that first mover advantage, to embrace the technology and maybe go from third world to first world, because we're seeing that happen in Korea, where they're embracing crypto. They're mining it. Their government's mining Bitcoin, and they're getting themselves out of debt with cryptocurrencies. As our government observes other governments utilizing the tech to do things like this, even Venezuela with the petro, it's going to catch the attention of other governments. The only thing is our government's worried that some of us will get more wealth than them. The government can control how much they have by printing more, bringing down what we have, making it worth less. So not one person or peoples can be worth more than the government and control any power. I get that, but it's not how it's going to work in the future. It's going to be way more open source, as you can say, when you're using this ledger.
And wealth distribution will be much more equitable, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, Bitcoin's the one thing that if you're the only one that has it, it's not really worth much. The more people that have it, the more that your little bit gets worth more and more and more. So there's that incentive to give the currency and use the currency and educate the currency. It kind of has that pyramid scheme effect. It's not a Ponzi, because the tech is there. There's actual product. There's something that you can use it for and with. But it does have that that pyramid-esque vibe to it, where if I buy a Bitcoin and I get you to buy one and you get somebody else to buy one, it makes my original purchase worth more, and it incentivizes us to keep that going. And if we're only trying to keep it for ourselves, it's not going to be worth anything. So the technology that we're using to create currency is actually incentivizing what trickle down economics want it to be.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And you bring up a good point. I never thought of it from that perspective of it being a pyramid. Ponzi, for sure it's not. But hey, you can look at every equity as a pyramid. Then,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Right. That doesn't mean it's necessarily a scheme. It's just that has one of the aspects of it where, early investor gets other investors in later, makes his previous investment worth more, and you keep that chain going. I mean, it's
at least with this one, there's more utility. You take like a token, and let's say in the future, I believe that in the future, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, all of them will be out of here. All companies will be represented by a token. At least in that framework, that token has more utility than just saying, hey, I have a share of Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? I can actually spend my shares or a Coca-Cola token and receive benefits in that way as well. So I agree with you. I kind of agree with you, definitely.
Yeah, and that aspect that you said, having a share of something. When I was first investing, I didn't have money to buy an entire share of Facebook. I couldn't afford to buy one share of Facebook. I could have bought a 20th, or 2/10, or I could buy a fraction of a share, but you can't do that with stocks. And even if I did manage to have enough money to buy a whole stock, like you said, I can't use it to buy anything. What if I had to liquidate that stock into cash so I could buy some eggs, bread, and milk? You can't do that. But when you tokenize it, you can make it possible to exchange that for some goods and services. So I really do feel like the tokenization of securities is going to happen inevitably, because this is what the end user wants. The person who is investing wants to be able to move this money around easily, and
not just be stored in a brokerage house.
Right, exactly. And they want to hold their money. They don't want, John, who may have gotten D's through college, being, a broker. You get D's or A's, either way you graduate, right? Now you have a D graduate broker who may screw up, lose your money, or screw you and scam you and peace out with all your money to another country. And there's not much you could really do about that. I mean, yeah, in the stock market, you may be insured, stuff like that. But when you're putting your money in other people's hands, you're pretty much asked out when they take off with it. And they want to know, if I'm investing 10,000 or more into something, these people want to know that they have access to it. They can hold their private keys, and they know that they have even if the exchange that they bought it on disappears, they moved it off the exchange. They have it on a wallet. They have the private key. They don't need that exchange to be there to use that asset. So it brings a lot of power to a company. It does.
It really does. And one last point is, honestly, man, even within this is not going on just in the commodities market, but in the equities market, you have rehypothecation of shares as well. What I mean by that is, for those who may not be as technical on that topic, that means that TD Waterhouse or E-Trade, there's no certificate anymore for the stocks that we own. So they just kind of they credit you the stock that you said you wanted to buy. They credit that on your account, but they really don't have the certificate to that stock. So they could double, triple, they can increase the supply as much as they want. And that's what theories have been floating around, that there's more outstanding shares of the top S&P 500 companies, and even more, even Russell 2000.
I can see it.
There are more shares outstanding than there should be. So this will eliminate that. A
lot of people are like, "Oh, the stocks are doing great, though." I'm like, "Yeah, probably because they're taking loans out to buy shares of their own company."
They are buybacks. Yeah, that's the only buybacks are at the highest they've been, I think, in history. Corporate buybacks. So it's going to end badly, man. And I think we're going to really benefit in the crypto space.
Yeah, man. And people should definitely take more interest in the crypto, even if you're hesitant of it, you're skeptical of it. A lot of people I talk to that have, a lot of, I guess, like fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the currency and the technology. I really would like to see you guys that are maybe watching this, that are still not really financially in, put $10 in it. $5. Put something that means nothing to you in it, and that way you have some kind of financial motivation pushing you to actually learn more and get educated about it. Yep. Because if you don't put anything in it, you're just going to keep doing what you've been doing and being a bystander, a spectator on the sidelines, watching people like us take advantage of this opportunity and capitalize on it. Don't spectate, participate, even just a little bit. Just a little bit, and you'll have that motivation to read another article, and maybe that article will build the confidence for you to finally make a bigger, more significant investment in something, since now you understand it, rather than listening to us hoping that we give that to you. You can go out and find that and keep looking for it. And I think that it starts with the $10. Just put $10 into crypto. And that'll be the wind behind your back pushing you forward to keep going, rather than feel like you're missing out, because every time you look at the chart, it keeps going up and you're just missing out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So what's up with you, man? What's next for you? What are you doing the rest of this month, the rest of this year? You're all over, man. You be at all the conferences.
Yeah,
I'm like, I gotta step my game up, man. I gotta get.
Well, come to Consensus in New York City next month. I'll be at Consensus in New York City. I believe it's May 14th and 15th. I'll be at World Crypto Con in Las Vegas for my birthday. That's
I'm there.
I'll be there. November 2nd.
I'll be there. I'll be speaking. I'm actually speaking on a panel there. So
my birthday's going to be so lit, bro. You don't
even know. Well, you guys will see me and Kenn Beezy.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome, dude. So yeah, I'll be there in October, November. I'm going to Canada for one of theirs. I got asked to come to a Paris conference. Something about the government will be talking about.
So are you doing this full time now?
Sort of, yeah. I work with pureblockchainwealth.com. I actually
Okay.
had a lot of offers to work with a lot of other different people, and I was really, really picky about who I claned up with. I was always a
Right.
solo player in the industry,
Yeah.
and I really liked what they were doing there, and I teamed up with them, and I've been doing the interviews for the YouTube channel, and you guys listening, we've gotten the #1 like newsletter award for the industry last year in 2017.
That's
Brad
what's up.
Robbins writes the newsletter, puts out all these alerts and reviews on ICOs and tokens and things like that. And it's really informative. I feel like that's where a lot of people can get some information by just signing up for free newsletters. You don't have to pay for the Cliff High report when there
Mm-hmm.
are free newsletters, multiple.
Mm-hmm.
So check out pureblockchainwealth.com, sign up for the free newsletter, and you can get some information there. And that's the kind of guys I've been working with, where
Okay.
they give out the free information. It's not like sign up for this thing and it's $50 a month, pay for our Telegram group chat, or
Right.
none of that stuff. I like that we're as a community, we're trying to build each other up as
Mm-hmm.
if we were the other person on the other side. So if you were interested in crypto, would you really want somebody to say, hey, pay me and I'll tell you about it?
Right.
Not really.
Right. No,
So I've
no
been
doubt.
working with
That's what's
them
up,
doing
man.
those interviews, and it was awesome. I got to interview Trace Mayer. I got to interview Amanda B. Johnson, Amir Russick. So many great people I've gotten to speak with on Pure Blockchain Wealth. I got a couple people, targets in mind, people that I'm going to be interviewing down the line.
Okay.
So it's been pretty fun doing all that stuff. And
That's
just
what's up,
doing
man.
this like basically
Trace.
full time, man. I quit my day job because I got lucky with my portfolio, and I'm living off of that portfolio. So I'm not really
Excellent.
accepting any sponsored videos, ICO reviews, none of that. I'm literally bare minimum effort. I'm sorry, guys. I'm giving this my bare minimum effort, but like I'm not working. I'm just living, and I'm making a living while living life. So people are like, what do you do for work? And I'm like, I don't work. And they're like, yeah, but you make money. I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm just living. I'm living life and making money. There's a difference between working and living for a living. And that's what I got lucky enough to do. And I really hope that if you're watching this and you want to do what we are doing, if you want to be Crypto Blood, you want to be like Kenn, start a YouTube channel right now. Go to youtube.com, start a YouTube channel, come up with a cool name, and just hit record and do it. And
you got to do it every day, people, or at least as much as you can, and just stay consistent with it. Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about, consistency.
Yep, exactly, guys. So I hope that, you guys are encouraged to keep going into this space, research more. And if you're interested in being a content creator, create content, just do it. Start today, right now. And you can earn crypto. You can earn Bitcoin by talking about Bitcoin. Sign up for the basic attention token platform, register your domain, and there you go.
Yeah, that's the best way, people. Do that. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. I'll also leave a link to Kenn's stuff, all the work he's doing, his YouTube. Tell the people about your Twitter and all that good stuff.
All right, yeah, so I'm Kenneth Bosak on Twitter. I'm Kenn Bosak on Facebook, Kenn Bosak on YouTube. And I'm pretty vocal on Facebook. If you guys have any, tech support questions and you may not trust somebody with those questions to answers, feel free to hit me up. I try to message everybody back and try to be as helpful. I have a couple group chats that, me and a couple friends help moderate. So if you have any questions and we can't help, we can try to at least help find you that help and monitor it to make sure that nobody's trying to get you to send private keys or anything like that. Because you got to be, careful, but you also got to be, out there and asking for help. You got to put yourself out there and just do that carefully. So reach out to me, guys, and we'll go through it together.
Kenn Bosak, aka KBZ, my man. Thank you for joining me on Crypto Blood. A little chat session with me. We will definitely do this again, my brother. Thanks again.
Thank you, man. Have a day.
All righty.